Hello fellow modelers, Armando here with DLC Model Builders, and it has been ages since I have done a video and uploaded it to my channel, I know, but as you all know, I'm sure, life gets in the way. But I'm back, and I decided to begin work on this guy. This is the Klingon Bird of Prey, and I am doing it as my TrekWorks tribute build. I asked Boyd Crompton, my friend, which ship he would like me to build, and he said he wanted me to build this one, and he wanted me to do it in the original colors of its first introduction in Star Trek III, The Search for Spock. As you guys might recall, it is a very neon-like green, a lot more than what's on the cover here, so on the box art, so that's what I'll be aiming for. Now, this kit can be upgraded with many aftermarket parts. The most important of which unfortunately is no longer available, is the movable hinge set, which was sold by Don's Light and Magic. Unfortunately, Don has passed away a few months ago. The producer of this kit actually is a gentleman by the name of Colby Lorang, I believe. He is on Facebook, and I have spoken to him. He told me he has received plenty of requests to get this thing started again, and he does have the molds. Whether he'll do it or not, I don't know. But at any rate, I have a complete set, and I wanted to get instructions because, of course, I lost them. So I went to Starship Modeler and purchased a used kit, which is incomplete, by the way, of this guy, which is the issue that came out after Generations. But the good thing is it included a complete set with instructions, which is good, because when I started to build the one I got from Don's Light and Magic, if I hadn't read the instructions here, I would have done a bunch of things wrong. It appears that this gentleman, Kobe, did this kit for both DLM and an outfit called M Factory, but it's the same kit. Let's see here. As you can see, the parts are all there. I've already begun building the one I have, and I will show you what I've been doing in a few minutes. But the first thing I did was reconstruct the disruptors, because there is no way that you can do lighting of the disruptors with the original parts, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. I have an additional kit, the 50th anniversary one, which I'll probably end up building in a landed position, because this one comes with the landing gear, the metal landing gear, so I'll probably do this one in a more military green like the series and other movies. But at any rate, here's the part right here. These are the two parts, and as you can see, the tubing is kind of lame. I tried drilling through the center to see if I could thread a fiber optic, and of course I melted it even at low speeds. So the only option really is to reconstruct it with brass tubing or steel tubing or some such thing. The other part that goes with it is this one right here, and that's also reconstructed. So I've already finished, I already finished the starboard one, at least gluing it together and reconstructing it. As you can see, I salvaged that part and that part because they're needed for holding it together. And the tubing that I used for the main tubing, this one right here, is the 3/32 brass tubing from K&S, right here, 3/32 inch. Make sure you get the round one because they do sell square tubing. I use my trusty brass tubing cutter, and I'll show you later on how this is done for those of you that haven't done it. So that's what I did with that one. Then for this sleeve right here, I just got the next size up. This one here, and this one I have to look for the size so I can tell you the exact size. Let me get the packet and I'll be right back. Alright, so in the K&S website they have a PDF spec sheet with the sizes, and the order of the sizes is 1/16, 3/32, 1/8, and 5/32. Those are the four main ones that I get. Now the main rod, as I told you, is 3/32. So to make a sleeve that'll fit over it, you go to the next bigger size, which is 1/8. The smaller size is 1/16, and that's important because that's the one I used for the other side. So, and these are the ones that most closely match the original parts. So the big one here is 3/32, and the sleeve that you see that I created there is going to be 1/8. So you cut a piece of the 1/8 and you slide it over the 3/32, and that's how you create a sleeve. The small one here is going to be the 1/16, and then the next size up, these two sleeves are the 3/32, which is this one, and so on and so forth. Now for these parts, now, I was interested in getting fiber optic in these two here and in the main one, and as you can see I've already done it there and there and there. But for these you could do it. There's smaller sizes even, but in order to get it to bend like this would have been too difficult, and really I only just wanted to have the effect coming out of these three. So I just used paper clips, and I use the jumbo paper clips. These are from Office Depot. They're old, but it's they're just called jumbos. They just happen to be the exact size that corresponds to that rod that's curved and the other one. And as you can see, it reproduces it very accurately. You can see the comparison there. Now I tried to be as meticulous as possible with the reconstruction. This additional one here corresponds to this one here, but in the reconstruction it looks a lot more accurate, a lot more realistic, because they're real tubes. So definitely an upgrade. I went ahead and I threaded fiber optics through them, and the fiber optics are already emerged. I glued this together. I've sanded and puttied the edges. I'm going to get rid of the seams over the next few days. So this is the starboard one. Now as far as the port one, as you can see, I have begun work on it. I've got the main rod in place and I've drilled a hole. It's glued in. So I will be doing the same thing with this one as with the other. As far as the wings, the wings have these landing lights which are not on at all times, and certainly during flight mode in the movie they're not on, but I wanted them in there anyway, and they were suggested by Boyd and by Tag. So I went ahead and drilled them, and I got fiber optic in them, angled it, and exited it out through here. Now it's important that you know the sizes of the fiber optics, of course. For the main fiber optic that goes through the big rod, I used 1 millimeter size. For the smaller fiber optics that go through the side tubes, these right here, I used 0.5, half the size. Okay, and for the landing lights, I used 0.75, the in-between. Okay, now one caveat with this thing that you're going to need to be aware of. When you thread the 1 millimeter fiber optic in through here, this thing is too thick and it won't allow this to close unless you trench it. You're going to have to create a trench like this one, but here, which is what I did in here. I created a trench all the way up on the inside surface, which I'll have to do with this one too, so that it fits. It's either that or step down a size on the fiber optics, which I suppose you could do, but then it won't exit the barrel the same way, and it might move on the tip. It might not look as natural as this one. So I opted to just create a trench. Let me see if I can get this to focus. There. And the fiber optic is the perfect size for it. Okay? So that's the starboard wing. Now, as far as the hinge kit, I began assembly of that last night, and this is how the central core, as they call it, is supposed to be assembled. Now, this is not supposed to be glued. This is just one after another. They're placed on this rectangular piece which has individual slots, and they are lined up, and then you put this other one on top which has slots also, and you press them together and you get 4 square rods that you insert through these holes. You can see them there. Then, and this is going to go in the central core. This will replace a piece of the hull. And what you do, let me see if I can point this out to you guys appropriately. Okay, according to the instructions, you're supposed to cut through here, down to here, over this, up here, like that, leave this piece here, cut around here, do the same on the other side, and remove all that. And this will go there. It'll pop in there. It's even got its own little ridges that hold it in place so it doesn't fall through. And this thing is going to go on top of that, and this will become part of the fuselage. So this will have to be painted the same as the ship, I guess. Then for each wing you get an individual set of curved pieces. This is for the, they call it the left, it's the port actually, if you were using correct terminology. Now these you do have to glue, and when you look at the parts, this is important. Let's see if I can find, here we go. Here's the other set, which I haven't started yet. I was planning on doing that today. This has a ridge right there, and it has a tapered edge right there. So the ridge is what you put these parts up against, and the way you do that is Working one-handed is kind of a pain. I'm going to have to put this up on a tripod in a minute so I can show you guys. Let's open this. Okay. So they suggest that you put a little CA glue on a card so you don't gobble up a lot on top of these things, because if you get too much glue, obviously with these fine spaces in between, this isn't going to work. That's not the one I want. Okay. There we go. Alright, so, and I will be doing this, demonstrating for you guys. You take the part, you slide it along the top of a card that you've put a gob of crazy glue on, and then you slide it on like that, and slide it up against the edge right there, and just leave it. It'll stay. It'll glue, and you do this sequentially, like I did with this one. This is the right one, the starboard, and these things will actually glue. Let's see. These things, once they are built, will glue right here. And as you can see, once you join this up to the central core part, it'll create an articulation. If you can visualize it, and I'll show you as I build it. We'll go through this together. But I figured that you guys would benefit from a video, because there's plenty of pictures from a couple of guys that have built this, and there is a slideshow on YouTube also, but there's no demonstration of, as far as I can tell, of anyone building this. So if I can come up with a more specific tutorial, I think I can help you guys. Hopefully, anyway. So that is what I'll be doing. I will set this up on a tripod and begin gluing the right one, the starboard one, and we'll go from there. By the way, these are the end pieces which have the little details that you're supposed to have. This one will go right here when we're ready to finish it up, and this one, which has the detail on the other side, will go on the other end. So it's a pretty neat kit, and it's very ingenious how it works, because you slide out the rods and they go through that slotted space in between, and this articulates, and it allows you to set up the wing any way you want. So I'm looking forward to seeing this thing in action. This kit I will be using the Starling lighting board for. I haven't ordered it yet. I gotta get that, and the reason I'm using it is because it's got a neat disruptor effect and a photon torpedo effect, which will be this part, and it's also got an engine effect, which is pretty cool. So that's my Bird of Prey, and see you on the next one, I guess.